Well done for letting me know that you can't hear me. We'll start that again, shall we? Good morning. Hello, it's Jez. It's me. I was saying that I've got a little, on my screen, I have a little fly. And it looks like, I thought there was something on my my face. But I was trying to like scrape it off like that. I've been trying to wear Woody out, which you probably won't be surprised to know hasn't worked. So he's currently in his crate trying to get food out of a chew toy. It absolutely will not last the duration of this. So we'll see how long that goes on for. But it is likely I'll have to intervene. So Woody will be making an appearance. I've got loads that I'm excited to share with you this morning. I was thinking that because obviously it's live, it's me, it means anything could happen. But I thought maybe we should start a little, like a mum's club. Obviously, or a dad's club, like a new parent club. Because I feel very much like one of those, new mums, like when you see someone and they're pushing their pushchair and you say, oh, congratulations. And you say, how are you? And they're like that. And they're like, oh, I'm really tired. I baked a flan at 3:30 this morning. And you think, ooh, well, I get that. I've done so much baking because by the time last night we had a bit of a troublesome night. Woody has diarrhea because he eats everything because he's a puppy and he's a Labrador and his favourite thing is to find stones. Currently, that's a new thing. So it could be any one of a million reasons why Woody is currently loose, shall we say. And 3 a.m. this morning, he needed to go out. So I was up quite early, and then at 6, just before 6, he decided probably should go out again. I've baked all sorts. I've baked carrot cake this week at 5:15 in the morning, a flan, all sorts. But I thought maybe we should start a little support group. Please, can we start a support group? Because I tell you what, productivity comes to a grinding halt when you've got tiny little things walking around. But anyway, we went to the vet this week. Happy Elevenses gang. Isn't it lovely just to take a moment on a Sunday, just to enjoy. There's a Buddhist thing where in order to be more present, I suppose it's a bit like mindfulness, right? Where you, when you make a cup of tea, there's the whole process of making the cup of tea, which of course comes from Chinese tradition as well, where a tea ceremony can take like half an hour. Can you imagine? Like I'd really like to go to one, but I'd have to have a cup of tea before I went in, because I'd be gasping. I'd be like, come on. Get that brewing on. And the point is, the whole ceremony of making the tea is supposed to be a bit of a ritual. And then when you get to it, there's sort of an experiencing of the warmth here. And then when you sip it, and you concentrate on literally nothing else but that warmth and the nectar. And that is like me every time I drink tea. What was I talking about? Yes, anyway, so we went to the vet yesterday. Thanks for the nice mug comment, Carol. It is, isn't it? This is it's from Spode. And it's one of the William Morris & Co. sort of prints. And it wasn't expensive. It's a Morris mug, right? So you'd think it would be, their stuff tends to be quite pricey. But I really like it. Morning, everybody. I love the comments coming in. What was I saying? Yes, the vet. So we went to the vet. He was absolutely brilliant. Check out my Instagram story. You can see some little clips there. And I'm going to put a little clip together. He threw up on the way there, redecorated my car. But he loved it after a while. I thought it was great. So listen, I've got loads I want to get through today. I want to sort of press on a little bit because I want to chat to you about something. But one of the things that you may or may not know is I collect puzzles. I've got tons of them. And I thought I'd share 2 of them. I'm going to do a little series, I think, on YouTube to share some of them. Because they sit like, I play with them, obviously, and I show people when they come round. And I'd love you to come round. But I don't know if my house is big enough for all of you. Because there's a few of you that join here live. And then there's several hundred of you that pick it up afterwards. And we could fit in the garden, I suppose, but not everybody would get a go on a puzzle. So this is a super cute one. 2 of my favourites. One of them's really flipping difficult and I haven't solved it yet, but this is really cool. So you can see it's a wooden box and there are no visible ways of getting in, but it's got this very strange metal disc on the top. It looks like a maze. It's like a laser cut maze, but literally that's it. There are no instructions that come with this. It's a slight rattle to it. I'm going to tell you how it works because I've opened it, I've solved it, and it took me forever. But oh my word, the joy. So this little maze, you won't be able to see because I'm on my own today and I can't refocus the camera, but there is a very tiny, let me see if I can get it to focus on this, just here above my finger, you can just see the little circle. There's a tiny, oh my word, this is like back to front and around the pound, and there's a tiny little pin anyway. It's almost imperceptible. And then what you do is you turn, and there's no way of doing it. You have to really get your fingernails in there and turn this whole disc around and move that pin to the center. And when the pin is in the center point, this lid pops and slides off, and you've got this. The box is empty, so you can put stuff in it. Isn't that really cool? And it is beautifully machined as well. It is, I think, walnut. It's stunning. So that's a really, really clever box. That's one of my favourites because there's nothing to pull, there's nothing to touch. So this sort of is very flat on the surface. You have to really kind of fiddle with it a little bit. But let me tell you, I'm a collector of puzzles, right? And if you collect anything in life, you generally spend a bit too much money on them. So this I bought, and it's unfinished, right? So I have to be a bit careful about how I display it. This is the Pachinko. There were only 1,000 made or 500 made, I can't remember. This is number 312. It is this epic, it's as heavy as it looks, like safe, strong box, with these bizarre things, like there's a hole here, there's this plunger thing on top, oh no, the back's just shut again. Oh, God. I have no idea how long it took me to get that. Anyway, there's this flush back, but there's like ribbed bits here, so that clearly does something. There's this strange little glass disc in here, and there's a little window here, and then these strange little slots. It is the weirdest, bizarrest puzzle I've ever come across, and you can hear it, right? There's this strange thing. Anyway, cut a long story short, there was a ball rolling around, it involved pinging the ball around so that it hit something. That released something else, then it released like there was a coin covering there, and it released a coin. And then you can, let me get this right, I'm trying to think how I did this before, but this is a magnet, and you have to put the coin in this little slot, I think. There's a bit of me that really doesn't want to do this now, because that goes down. Oh, yep, there we go. Great. So then you open the, oh no, oh man alive. Anyway, so that flicks, when the ball's loose, you put the coin in there. Oh, now the dog's staring at the ball rolling around on the, oh God. It's live, anything could happen. And so that opens this, which, because this is open, this now slots down, and that's as far as I've got. It's not complete, because at the back there, you might know, there's a coin right on the back wall of the box. You see that at the top corner? And you need to release both coins. That's the ultimate. But I've got here, and I literally have no idea what to do now. So I need to try and work out. I think there's a pin, or should be a pin. There's like a hole here, and if you've done enough puzzles, yeah, don't worry, Carol. He's shutting his crate. Yeah, it's a tiny little marble. If you've done enough puzzles, any little hole like that normally means there's a pin or a pencil to go in it or something. So anyway, so that's my latest puzzle. But I think what I might do is do some other videos and sort of show you a tour around, because it's definitely not for 11s. Mark says I used to have those metal puzzles that you had to separate when I was a kid. Oh, how funny. Well, you should probably tell me how the hell they work, because it's pretty stressful. Anyway. Oh, and there's another one. I also collect, you know, the ones sometimes in crackers. Some of those are great as well, like the little free ones that you get in crackers. You know what? I nearly bought crackers this week. There was a special offer. It was a really, really nice crackers that I had last year. I'll just pick up this coin. It's one less thing for me to remember. And then there's like, 35% off or something because it's not quite Christmas. And I went to buy them, and I thought, you know what? What the hell are crackers? Why do we buy crackers? Of all of the things that you could, so they go snap, and it's, most of them don't go snap. You have some tatty thing, unless you spend a lot of money, that you never use, and then all of that stuff goes into the recycling. And I love the idea. I like the theatre, I like the drama, they look lovely on the table. And just as I was about to put checkout, I thought there's something that doesn't feel quite right about buying crackers. And so I thought, you know what, this year I'm going to do? I'm going to go and pick some sprigs of stuff, whatever's in the garden, or I'm going to go for a walk with Woody and buy some and take some sprigs of stuff from, bushes and trees and stuff, and tie them into a little bundle, tuck them into the serviette, so that dresses the table, so that looks nice. That sort of replaces the cracker looking nice. And then I thought I'd just wrap a tiny little individual gift for everybody, so that there's something there. It's teasing, you know what it is, but it's more tailored to that person. And you don't get all of the mess and the nonsense and the waste. Like, I love the idea. I think they're wonderful. I'm not being a killjoy, but what are they? It's like a really cheap, really cheap. I was about to say concubine, but I don't know where my head was going because I'm really tired and I know it's inappropriate, but so it's all over in a flash, isn't it? It's like there's that then, and there's a little mess, and anyway. It's a killjoy. Anyway, super exciting. There are two things. Let's get to the sort of exciting bit, because it's almost time for little cake review. But I've got a new tea coming soon. It is literally round the corner, and I reckon by the next time we meet, fingers crossed, the new tea will be here. My very own exclusive Jez Rose tea brand. It's been something I've been working on for a couple of years. It's taken a long time to find the right partner. And I'm beyond excited. So very shortly there'll be competitions for free tea. We're going off to a waterfall to go and make the tea with fresh water. Going back to there's a slight lag on this, by the way. So if it seems like I go off on a tangent, then we come back to the thing again. That's why. Carol says, great idea. We did musical whistles one year, pandemonium but fun. Us too. I remember one year. I think I bought some novelty crackers again, but each of them had a bar of a xylophone or a glockenspiel or something in. And so when you brought everybody together, you had a sheet of music and you played your bit, and it was brilliant, absolutely great. The kazoo, I suppose, is that. Anyway, listen, we haven't got lots of time. I've got loads of things I want to get through. So it's time for the little cake review. That's enough of that. So I've had loads of fun putting this together. This week I am reviewing Gower Cottage brownies, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just to make a point of saying that I pay for these. I don't get them free. There's no kind of promotion. It's entirely independent. Next time you see me, I'm going to bake some cakes, some of my favourite cakes to bake, and I'll give you the recipe. But just while we got started, I bought the first two, and it's going to be a combination of buying some of the cakes and treats in for Elevenses and sharing them, and sometimes me baking them as well and sharing it. So, I have a bit of an obsession with brownies and have had for years. I don't really like chocolate cake. I'm not a massive fan of chocolate, but there's something about a really good brownie, and there are a lot of people that don't have really good brownies. Now, when I was on the James Martin show, I was given a box of these as a thank you by James, and I thought it was a sweet sort of thing to do. You know, it's sort of tied in with the cooking thing, and it's a nice treat. You can take it home. You know, they're beautifully wrapped. That's how I was first introduced to Gower Cottage brownies. They're handmade in Wales, and I'm going to be honest, I was grateful for the gift, but thought, I'll just take them home, and whoever's at the farm can eat them. And so we opened them up as a team, and the first two people that took a bite melted on the floor like the witch from The Wizard of Oz. I was like, what are you doing? What's going on? And they're like, oh my word, this is the most amazing thing I've put in my mouth. And one of those people to say that, there's a lot of things that have been in their mouth, and I thought, well, crikey, that's the thing to say. So I tried a bit, and I instantly fell in love. They are incredible. Now, forget all the tosh about people saying, oh, I've got the best brownie recipe, these are the world's best brownies, yada yada. So I went through a phase of sending these to clients as thank yous and stuff, and people would, honestly, they would email me and say, I don't eat chocolate, or I don't like brownies, but I had one just for the sake of having one, and I'm addicted, these are incredible, where'd you get them from, can I buy them, blah, 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 blah. If you ever want to win, like something in a client meeting, or you want someone's attention, take these in, I promise you, they'll love you. So they come in this lovely little box. There are tons of, I should explore more really, because I've only ever had the traditional ones, but there are like orange ones, there's chocolate mint, it's a lovely lady called Kate who makes them. On the inside, you get the Gower Cottage story, so how and why she set it all up. and they're beautifully wrapped. Now, on the website, it says something along the lines of, they'll last 10 days. You can put them in the freezer if you want them to last long, just get them out and defrost them. But we challenge you or something. I bet they won't last 10 days. And I thought, well, that's some marketing tosh if ever I've heard it. Well, there's not many left. I buy these things specifically for Sunday Elevenses. This is the size. You get 12 as standard in a box. And it looks pitiful, doesn't it? You think, oh, is that it? Let me tell you now, I am about to have a moment. You can join me. But these are epic. They've got a tiny, tiny crust on. Oh. And inside, they're gooey and buttery. And they are so chocolatey. Oh my word. Honestly, I cannot convey, ladies and gentlemen, he, she, them, they, these are the world's best brownies. That's official. There's no way there can't have been a scientific trial to prove it. Absolutely incredible. It's 550 grams for a box. Free postage is included. They're absolutely epic. These are, 15 giraffes out of 10. They're just amazing. I was going to say 10 out of 10, but like a normal scale of 1 out of 10 just doesn't quite sort of fit it. You can't, it doesn't feel like it's the right amount of, oh my word, on it, gang. And at about this point, 2/3 of the way, I have a little sip. I'm such a tease to myself. And then I go in again. And that bit, this is what Elevenses is about. Stuff like this forces you to love life. Tragic. I'm gone. Now, oh, crikey. What was I talking about then? Honestly, I've lost myself. What was I saying? Anyway, they're amazing. So check them out. They do blondies and all sorts of different things. Check them out. Gower Cottage Brownies. I think they're on Facebook. Oh, Helen, is it you? Or Moochie said they're just making my mouth water. Yeah, mine too, and I'm eating them. She's just like them. And I guess you go to gowercottagebrownies.co.uk. So great. Mr. Adorable has had one or two. In fact, he's definitely had more than one because, in fact, that is a point. There were only 2 in that top layer. So there's 12. There's 6 on the top. I've had 2. That's 3. That means he's had 3. And I told him he could have 1. We'll talk about that later. You just grassed him up, Mark. Now, I did promise you a little book competition today. I love championing independent people and independent producers. There's no sponsorship of any of the stuff that I do, and I quite like that. Even the unboxing stuff isn't sponsored. It's just genuinely stuff I want to share with you. Things that I love, things that I enjoy, things that I think it will help you. So don't forget to like this video because there is a competition coming up. If you've got kids or with Christmas coming up, you might like this. I was sent 2 books this week by Muddy Little Boots. Isn't that a super cute name, Muddy Little Boots? Written by Andy Hussey, who I don't know. Maybe he's Hussey? Maybe Hussey. Andy Hussey. And illustrated by a lady called Rosie Venner. I don't know Andy or Rosie, and my life feels a little less complete because of it. I think this is the right way round. This is the first one he wrote. They're books for kids, but they're sort of got a nature and environment theme. The first one is called Any Trout About. Isn't that a stunning book cover? Isn't that utterly gorgeous? It's really dramatic. But the illustrations are stunning. There's an audio book as well, so you can kind of read through it. So I've not read all of the stories. I haven't had time this week, but look at the illustration. So the kind of idea is that every weekend, Charlie and Dad went into town to look in the shops. As a treat, Charlie would have a big sticky bun or an ice cream with strawberry sauce and sprinkles on top. There was a stream in the town, and people often bought fish food to feed to the trout. And I guess the idea is that he goes along and there's no trout. And so it's a story about how we have to look after nature, otherwise we don't get nature anymore, right? But I mean, look at the illustrations, absolutely stunning. You really lose yourself in it. And there's a really, really lovely kind of story to it as well, which I liked. So that's that. And then there's another one as well, called, that is new, called There's No Deer Around Here. How sad. And I think you can kind of guess the theme of the story as well. But this is really lovely. So Jacob was staying with Granny, but they were stuck indoors. All right. Looks like it's raining by the looks of it. Poor Jacob. And so they go on this little adventure, do lots of different things, and Granny looks at the gate. And what's this? Or Jacob picked up a lettuce leaf that had been left on the lawn. The leaf had been nibbled. What do you think came in last night? Jacob asked. A cow, some sheep, or maybe a deer? And Granny's saying, well, actually, there won't be a deer because there's no deer at all around here. And so they go off on sort of little walks and adventures, and he keeps asking about the deer, and there's no deer. And it's a lovely sort of little extra. I'm not going to spoil the end because I have read this one, and this is really cute. I think these are fab. They are really well written. And obviously, I've 2 of my own kids' books, and just writing a third. And it's not easy to write kids' books, and it's even harder to sell them, actually. So huge thumbs up and recommendations. These are really, really good. Now, I haven't got anything to do with these, so I thought I'd run a little competition. So if you would like a copy of Any Trout About and There's No Deer Around Here, it's both of them. So you get both of these books for free. All you have to do is like the video, this video here, like it, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the answer to this question. You have to comment. What is a female deer called? When is it going to be picked later today? So if you saw it, if you're on catch up, unfortunately, you missed out. That's why you should be here live. So later on this Sunday, I will pick a winner from random. I will make sure that you've liked the video, that you also subscribe, and that you have commented what is a female deer called. And I will be in touch with you and post both of these books to you. They're beautiful. They're available from muddylittleboots.com. That's such a cute name. And highly recommended. Really beautiful. Really beautifully illustrated as well. So here's the thing, gang. I want to talk to you a tiny bit today about hoarding, right? Now, I've got what I call my big idea. Now, it's time for the big idea. I've had so much fun. Hoarding versus efficiency. Now, I'm a big efficiency person, right? I love getting rid of stuff. I don't like hanging on to stuff. If it hasn't been used in sort of 6 months, a year, I'll get rid of it. Lots of my friends find this funny because I very often have to buy the same stuff back again, like 12 months later when I need the thing. But here's the way I justify it. I think about it. Say you buy something for £12, and after 6 months you think, we've not used this. I've used it, I don't know, for 3 months. I don't want it anymore. I'm going to sell it. Well, if you sell it, depending on how much you sell it for, it's only cost you the amount that you bought it divided by the number of months that you've had it. And so it's almost like you were renting it, right? And so you get rid of it. It's like I haven't got cupboards full of stuff. I haven't got a loft that's heaving. When I move house, I have to take loads of stuff with me. So I think that's kind of quite a cute way of thinking about things. It's definitely a Buddhist mentality, like a philosophy. There's a bit of hangover there from when I was very much into Buddhism, this idea of simplicity and minimalism, and not that you'd think it, looking at all the plants around the house, but I don't know, I just wonder whether that sort of mentality might well come in handy with living costs rising, thinking about that sort of transactional living. And it's interesting because actually some of the car manufacturers are moving towards a sort of rental model. You never actually own the car, you just pay a little monthly amount. Audi have a really cool thing that they have, I think, already released, where you can select particular features. So every car is built the same, it has all of the features, but some of the features are turned off depending on how much you spend for the car. So if you go for the super premium model, you don't get all of the features. But if you in the winter think, I'd quite like a heated steering wheel, you can subscribe remotely and they turn that feature on for however long you subscribe for it. Isn't that a really clever idea? Really neat way. So there's less waste in making the car because they don't end up with loads of random parts, all of the parts for every car. But also I just wondered whether, as we the cost of living continues to rise, maybe that might be an interesting way for us to think about what we keep and what we don't keep and what actually we need. And if you're interested in some cost of living tips, the Organic Eats and Garden Treats and also the Tiny Farm series here on YouTube, you can have a little look for those. There's loads and loads of examples there of ways that you can use nature to save costs. I mean, as soon as autumn hits, all of those conkers are being collected, and when we're out on walks, I'll be collecting conkers. This is my favourite thing. I love this. And then you cut the conkers very carefully in half, put those all in a jar with some water, just plain cold tap water from the tap, give it a little bit of a shake and leave it. And every day, just give it another little shake to agitate the conkers and move the water around. And within a week of them just sitting there, the enzymes from inside the conkers bleed into the water and mix with the water. And conker enzymes, or the enzymes within conkers, have a natural cleaning property. And we did some tests at the farm comparing like a, what is it? Not dishwasher fabric. What do they call that? Fabric softener? No, not a fabric conditioner. The thing that you clean clothes with, right? A cleaning soap, whatever that is. And the conker juice. And the conker juice got rid of exactly the same clothes. On a blind trial, you couldn't tell which ones were conker juice cleaned and which ones were artificially cleaned. So much better for the environment, obviously, but free. And that's quite a significant saving when you think about how expensive, in a month, particularly if you do lots of washing, if you've got a busy household, all you've got to do is get out in the fresh air, go and collect loads of conkers. That's cool, isn't it? So that was my favourite sort of little tip that we came up with in that series. But there'll be lots of those as well. But are you a hoarder? I don't know. You have to be careful how you say that. When you ask that sort of question to people. I quite like the idea of being efficient. But I think lots of people hold on to stuff, don't they? And I can sort of understand why, particularly because sometimes holding on to stuff is the only thing you've got, right? There's a lot of memories in some stuff. And I also understand that too. I don't know. Listen, if you haven't done already, you definitely should subscribe to the channel. Because I've got to take a little break. Not now, obviously. I'm going to finish this off next week. I'm not here. And I was maybe going to do it Sunday Elevenses from Bologna, but I decided, nope. It's a tiny little holiday I really need some sunshine for, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because it will help you find it when we come back. Now, before we go, I have a special offer for you. You probably know that my Sunday ritual involves candle in the morning. In fact, you know what? It used to be a Sunday ritual, but it's sort of beginning to do it every morning now. Maybe it's the faint whiff of diarrhea this morning. If you missed the beginning bit, you'll be watching this thinking, what? It might be the faint whiff of puppy biscuits or something. Anyway, every morning I light a candle, boil the kettle, and just have a moment of calm. There's something that, a candle, it's so, I don't know, ethereal, and it's the flame thing, isn't it? You just can't stop watching it. But for a long time, I spent an awful lot of money on scented candles. Couldn't find any that were really amazing. They smelt good when you look in the packaging, and then as soon as you light them, you can't smell it. This thing, just one of these, fills the entire room. It's incredible. They're called True Grace. It's part of a new series of things on the shop called Things I Love. I thought I would share some of the things that I love and that, enrich my life to help enrich yours as well. So they come in this gorgeous, sexy little box like this. They are handmade in England. It's super ethical. They've got like a carbon neutral factory and all that kind of jazz. It's a British product. And this one here is called Orangery. It smells citrusy, but sweet. You have to go and read up on it. I'm not going to do it now. But a Victorian orangery shielding precious citrus trees from the English weather. Orange blossom blended with deeper rose and jasmine perfumes. It's stunning. Everybody who walks into the house, it's there burning at the front by the front door. Everybody who walks into the house says, "Oh, what's that gorgeous smell?" And I normally say, "Oh, thanks very much, it's me." But it's not. Shh, it's this candle. So you can save £5 with the special offer discount code CANDLE, CANDLE. Treat yourself if you want, or treat somebody else as well. Somebody says, there's a lovely quote by William Morris, "Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." That is stunning. Very, very nice indeed. Listen, let me know what you think of the new 11s. Some of you are saying, particularly Marcus, said he's finding it a little bit difficult still getting used to YouTube. I honestly believe it's a much more premium platform for us all to watch it on, but let me know, because I don't do it for me, I do it for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, but remember, I'm not here next week. Wait to the end of this sting just to remind you, maybe take a little photo as well to remind yourself that I'll be back on Sunday the 18th. It's Sunday. It's your day, and just for a moment, just maybe for 60 seconds more, take a deep breath. Thank yourself for being alive, because there are an awful lot of people this morning that didn't wake up, and we did. So what an amazing privilege we've got. What are you going to do for the next couple of hours to really, really grasp that privilege? As always, it's my privilege to get to stream to you on a Sunday, on the most precious of days. I hope you have a wonderful time and a great day. It's not raining here. Even if it's raining where you are, get outside. Love life. See you again soon. Sunday the 18th. See you then. Love you.